Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the What the Football channel. This is the BH and Scrubber Show. And on today's show, we're going to be doing a recap review of the Commanders against the Cowboys. Yes, you're going to have to sit through this. All right. We all got to do it. So we had to watch it. You have to watch it. But we're just going to cover some of the things real quick. Wasn't great. Looked pretty bad. So more injuries and that kind of stuff. Just everything looks kind of grim. But we're still hopeful here at What the Football. So BH, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, man. Always darkest before the dawn. Um, about as hard a game to watch, especially when you know you got potential. Puts us at 3-4, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean we're not 1-6 garbage, but
Right.
man, I mean we know we can do better than that.
Yep.
We got parts of our team on paper that our O line looks pretty good. Ought to do better. Cosme comes back. But man, they stacked that box and they couldn't deal with it.
They did.
Boy, we get a bunch of our DB crew. We got some depth, got some good guys, got a good rookie. Jonathan Jones is back to add a little more depth, and then it's a fucking Chinese fire drill.
Yep.
It's so I don't even know if we can even figure it out. We need a 2.5 hour show, but yeah, overall, just kind of disappointed. I think from the offensive side, there's just this is the second game in a row where they basically bring guys up in the box. They're going to force Jaden McDaniels to get the ball out. They're going to say you're not going to run. And there's a lot of moving pieces with that. Obviously you put 7, 8 men in the box, and it's been hard for Bill.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just can't, even with a good offensive line, if there's that many guys in the box, it's very hard to force your will on someone consistently. Maybe in a game, you might have a good game where you can do that, but you got to make them pay with some passes. You got to make them pay to bring those guys back. We don't seem to be able to do that.
Right.
Jaden seems to be trying. The wide receiver group is trying. Cliff seems like, to me, I mean, you do got a lot of new receivers, so you can't give them. We got Robbie Chosen was our number one receiver.
I know.
Who?
Who?
Yeah, he's been in the league for 9 years, but he's like he stops and he stays in a town for 1 year, moves on, 1 year, moves on. He had some good early years, but he actually seemed to be he did okay, which is really sad because I think he only had 4 catches. So you want Cliff to like say, hey man, figure this out. You tell
Yeah.
Jaden, hey Jaden, you're going to have to execute better. You have to tell the O line, hey, we know you're getting pushed, but
Mhm.
you're going to have to find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is the hand that you've been dealt. So all three of those entities, and I kind of leave the wide receivers out of that because I'm sorry, but we're looking at our 5th, 6th, and 7th guy. I'm not going to be too hard on those guys, but we don't have any dynamic people.
Mhm.
I mean, Terry McLaurin is dynamic. Debo was a guy. Well, the thing that's great about Debo, like, well, he's only one guy, but not really, because he can play in the slot. He can play outside. He'll come back as your running back. He makes the defense think, 10 or 12 different ways by only one person. So
Mhm.
losing him really kind of hurt because as jack of all trades, you could use them all over and play with their defense a little. Well, there's no one left that they're scared of. Like, oh, Luke McCaffrey's in the slot. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and Jalen Lane's a rookie. And so no one on that. I'm not going to really crap all over those guys except to say, hey, even you guys, come on, get into practice. You're getting first team reps. Do better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So offensively, I don't know if maybe Cliff's hands are tied with the playbook. He can only do so much with those guys.
Right.
He's trying to kind of build it out. But in the meantime, well, defenses are taking advantage of all that. So, yeah, I'm not sure where they go from here, but all those different entities separately got a lot of work to do
Yeah.
to get this offense out, to get them going back to what they were last year, pretty dynamic, scoring, long drives, because none of
Yeah.
that's happening now. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah. No, you're right. Part of the thing with, like Cliff is when these guys don't play together, a lot when people get injured and bring in new guys. You got to simplify things for the newer guys, and so your range of plays that you can run aren't as good. But a couple of things I don't know, like for the offense, like they just kept running Bill just like straight up the middle. It just wasn't working. They were doing it every time. That didn't help. The other thing about the offense was that we had uh, 12 drives. Five of them ended in punts. Two of them ended in turnovers on down. One was a fumble. One was an interception. And three of them were touchdowns. So three out of 12 drives resulted in points. And then the other 2 points came from the defense with the safety.
Yeah.
So nine drives ended up with nothing. So that doesn't really help our guys at all on the defense, which I said last week was sustain drives, keep our defense off the field, keep Dak off the field. Now, our defense did get off the field early a couple times, but not for good reasons. So one was a one play, 74 yard, 11-second touchdown, and the other one before the half was a three play, 72 yards, 34 seconds off. So our defense did get off the field early. That's not good though. So anyway, so I was thinking to myself, people are, oh, Joe Witt needs to be fired and this and that, but I was thinking to myself, he's not the only coach. He is not the only coach. So I went and looked at who our coaches are, and our defensive back coach is Tommy Donatel. Tommy, are you earning your paycheck? Assistant defensive back, William Gay. We have two gays on our team.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Senior defensive assistant, Joe Pagano. What are you doing, Joe? Defensive quality control. Defensive quality control coach, George Banco. George, earning your paycheck? Doesn't look like it. How about defensive pass game coordinator? This is this guy's
Ooh,
job title.
yeah. Who's this
Defensive
guy?
pass game coordinator, Jason Simmons. Jason, what the F? So I look at that and then it makes me wonder, like, Quan Martin, he's regressing. He's not moving forward. Sandra still. He's regressing. He's not moving forward. Frankie Luvu actually isn't doing as good. He's regressing. Lattimore not doing great. You know, Trey Amos, I don't think is living up to what he could be doing. So I'm almost seeing a coaching problem here and not a player problem here because these guys should be growing from last year and doing better, especially Quan. Quan looked great last year. Sanders still looked great last year, and this year they're not doing anything. So I believe it's a coaching problem. And the other thing I think about when I think of that is Dan Quinn coming out. Oh, the brotherhood is great. Oh, we're so cohesive and everybody's a brotherhood. Why do you keep having to say that every single time you come out? You shouldn't have to say that every single time. It should be self-evident, right? But it doesn't look that way. So, like a couple years ago, we thought there was a problem in the locker room. I'm starting to smell that a little bit right now. And it's hard. There's a lot of injuries. Dorrance Armstrong just went down. Jaden went down. They must be freaking out. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking there might be a coaching problem. It might not all be Witt, although Witt might be Eric Bieniemy 2.0, where he's just too rigid. Because I didn't see any like changes on the defense. It just looked the same, even at the half. Nothing seemed to change to me. It just all kept looking the same. So I thought that was bad. Lattimore, of course, played like crap. He had two pass interferences, got burned a couple times. That seems to happen every single game. I'm getting sick of that. We talked a couple weeks ago, like, why not put Amos on the outside and then put Sanders still on the outside where he was doing good? Bring Igbenogany in to run the slot and then let Lattimore take a break.
Yeah.
Because just like I said last week, watch what they're going to do. Dallas is going to come out and they're going to pick on him right away and they're going to piss him off and then they're going to ruin him for the rest of the game. And that's exactly what they did. They came out in that first run and they picked on him all day and he got that PI. He was just pissed for the rest of the game. So that was no good. Let's see. Yeah. Penalties. The penalties were horrifying on both sides of the ball. we would get some good run backs on the punts or the kickoffs, and there would be a holding. Yankoff got a tripping penalty on that one long one by Luke, and it came. We'd be out to the 30 or the 35. The penalty would drive us back to the 10 or the 15.
Yep.
It's impossible to dig out. So penalties were killing us. Uh, the good things are that I thought Deron Payne played great.
Great game. 90 PFF.
90
90
PFF.
PFF.
Yeah,
And Lattimore 22 PFF. Well,
yeah,
we
he was
don't need PFF to know. Right.
horrible. So I like Deron. I think Jordan McGee was out there.
Yeah,
So,
he
and
did
I
good.
know he did good. And people are screaming for get rid of Bobby Wagner. Well, don't get rid of Bobby Wagner. Just bring Jordan McGee on the plays that you think they're going to pass or that you need him. He can green dot it.
Yeah.
If, or
Or just give Bobby more of a break.
yeah, give him a break.
Yeah, what is he, 47 years old now?
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, okay. But even if you're not spot playing him for
Yeah,
pass or anything,
right.
give him 20 snaps so Bobby doesn't have to play 75 freaking snaps every game.
Yeah,
So I'm with you on that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the other good thing is I thought our special teams played pretty good, except for some of the penalties we had. And of course, Tress Way gets player of the game. Dude, that guy punted 5 times for an average of like 57 yards. And Percy
Yep.
Butler down that one at the 1 yard line. Man, that was you don't get no better than that. I was surprised I didn't see Tress Way in the PFF scores.
Well, yeah, he should have, and he probably could have been NFC special teams player, but when your team gets curb
Yeah,
stomped, they don't look
yeah.
at you. Yeah.
So that's all I'm going to pick on him for. I still think there's a coaching problem.
Yep.
Uh, I don't.
Coaching or yeah,
Go ahead.
or it's a personnel issue. It's a
Yeah.
personnel. We have personnel, and there are some personality issues.
Mhm.
But once again, that goes to coaching. Rein that shit in. Take care
Yeah.
of that stuff. But because that does happen. Think it's a long season. Things sway, and but I really did like your point. A couple good points. Not only did Joe Witt, like you said, he doesn't look like he's really making any changes, but also even Cliff with the up the middle with Bill. I mean, we watched the Bears run DeAndre Swift, those quick pitches to the outside. Remember those?
Yeah.
Like boom, quick pitch. They're pulling. It looked like they had 17 guys and we had 3. I mean,
Yeah.
every time. I mean, I was like, where are the Commanders? And he would just burst 20 yard, 12, 15, 38. I mean, DeAndre Swift had 168 total yards, but we just keep going that quick, give quick, like a little, what do you call it? Like, Jaden's in the shotgun, RPO kind of thing, little hand and go, boom, nothing. And when you got 7, 6, 7, sometimes, even, 8 people, although we know all 8 aren't coming, but
Right.
still, when you have that many people in the box, you got to figure out different ways to attack them. So,
Yeah.
yeah, both of those coordinators, it's kind of like, hey, don't go nuts, but for God's sake, man, bend things a little bit
Yeah.
here, a little bit there, and try something. So yeah, we had some good play. Bobby once again had a good game. Actually, thank God, Preston Smith's been getting more
Yeah.
snaps. He actually played a really good game, which is good because I think I mean they have him listed more as a linebacker, pass rusher. So I mean at defensive end, I'm not sure where we're headed now.
Yeah.
They even let I think was it Jalen Holmes.
Yeah. Holmes is
They
gone.
they let him go. And he's more of he's a hybrid, mostly a defensive tackle, can play defensive end. But I'm not sure what the
Here's the thing
I
about
haven't heard
that.
anything.
They did pull a defensive end guy in, and he's injured and instantly put him on IR. What was his name? Drake or
Oh yeah. They brought him in knowing he was going to IR. I
oh,
guess they had a spot. Someone dropped him, and they said, "Well, let's just pick him and let him," because he was 25 years old. So they thought, "Well, let his knee heal, and it's like a future thing." Yeah,
the
but I mean
hospital's already full. What's
I
one
know.
more person in the hospital,
But you
right?
know what? That's how bad it is out there. When you go to look, you can't
Yeah.
even find someone to fill in. You go, well, there is that guy, so he has potential. But yeah, there's no. I mean, I think the
Yeah.
Chargers got Clellan Farrell, who I didn't hate Clellan, but I
Yeah.
thought it was an upgrade bringing in Dietrich Wise. But now I wish Clellan Farrell was out there on the waiver wire
Yeah.
because we're at this point now. What do we do? It's going to be tough sledding. So, yeah, man, that was hard to watch. It's hard to watch when it's the Cowboys and you're getting just motorboated right out of the stadium. So
Yeah.
no Commanders fan wanted to see that bull. So we know for sure. I don't know if Jaden will play. He might not. Might go to Marcus Mariota. We're getting the full report on that. 100% though. Dorrance is out for the year, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So man,
Well,
how
another
many?
part of that too is we had a chance to get Jadeveon Clowney early in the year and in the off season. No, don't get him. And Jadeveon Clowney clowned us.
He did. I didn't
Ew.
even know the Cowboys had him, and all of a sudden I saw some guy busting in there, wrecking plays, and I thought, is that Clowney? And then 3 plays later, he had a sack,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh shit! And I thought the same thing as you, man. Why didn't we get that guy?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so missed opportunities all around. But then again, in their defense, we didn't know 3 of our top 4 defensive ends were all going to go on IR either. I
Yep.
mean, it's been a bloodbath. Guys not lasting. Our strong safety went out after 1 game.
Yeah.
So Will, what's his name? The guy
Harris.
we got, yeah, guy from New Orleans. So, but another thing, no excuses because I see some teams out there with O lines beat up, still win games. I see teams out there with their defensive backs wrecked, and they can win. So it can be done.
Yeah.
It's not like this team is just everyone. We've lost everybody. There's no excuses, man. I mean,
Yeah.
put something together, get a game plan together, and scheme it up. Just do a better job. It's just not good enough.
Well, we also have the trade deadline coming up, and a lot of these teams are going to have fire sales. So they're going to be getting rid of defensive ends and they're getting rid of wide receivers, and we should be paying attention to that coming up on November 4th.
November 4th.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, I know. There's some we can talk about that. Maybe we got the preview show for the KC game coming up, huh?
Yep.
So, yeah,
Kansas City coming up this Monday night. It's going to be on TV. We are going to be covering it. I'll be doing the play-by-play live reaction.
yeah.
BH is going to be in the chat room. We're going to do on Friday our preview show. So, come and check us out. We love our preview show. The post-game show is what it is. The game's already over. But the preview show, I think we have great insight. As we talked about on this show, we went back and said, well, we said this at the preview show, and look what happened. And we were correct probably 100% of the time, it seems like. So,
Yep.
yeah, how'd we do?
Did great, man. Let's look forward to a Friday show and then a good game Monday night. All right.
Sounds good. Thanks, everybody.
See you.